Slack Shalom. This is Sir Basharala. I last name Kemp. Look at Jacksonville, Florida. First and foremost, I like to praise and glory to the Father and the Son and the perpetuity return. Call Halam La, Yahweh Bashima Shai, Bashem, Habakkuk, Kodash Ma'amoth. Also, the bounce of the sponsor of GMS, the bounce of the elder as well, Ahara One. Peace be to 1/3. Excitation for elect. This is going to be a quick little lesson, you know. Going on with Peter and John. Was it Peter? I don't want to say Peter and John. Right here. Well, Peter. I'll say that. I'm going to read it. Nonetheless, going to the boldness and strength, having seen the miracle of Yahweh Shai being resurrected through the power of Yahweh, you know, that's and giving that power to Yahweh Shai. Peter saw that, you know, in front of that. He saw Yahweh Shai resurrected, man. And he telling these wicked Sadducees and Pharisees, man, what do you call it? Telling wicked Sadducees, Pharisees, how you gonna, let me just get it. I can't explain it. I just want to read it, man. This is Acts chapter 4. Well, shoot. I can get... I can really start from the beginning. It says, howbeit, many of them which heard the word believed, and the number of the men was about 5,000. It came to pass on the morrow that the rulers and elders and scribes, and Annas, the high priest, and Caiaphas, and John, and Alexander, and many, as were the kindred of the high priest, were gathered together at Jerusalem. And when they had set them in the midst, they asked, by what power or by what name have ye done this? Then Peter, filled with the Holy Spirit, said unto them, ye rulers of the people, and of elders and elders of Israel, if we this day be examined of the good deed done to the impotent man, by what means he is made whole, be it known unto you all and to all the people of Israel, that by the name of Yahweh Shai Mashiach of Nazareth, whom ye crucified, whom Yahweh raised from the dead, even by him that this man stand here before you. So kind of Yahweh Shai, healing. He says, this is a stone which was set at naught of you builders, which is become the head of the corner. The stone that the builder refused, man, it was set up by Yahweh, not people of this world. It says verse 12, neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. That name is being Yahweh the Father, just calls, God, that's the Most High. The Father name is Yahweh, and the Son name, which the word he called Jebus, Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai. That's the Son. It says, verse 13, now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John, so kind of Peter and John, Peter and John, and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant man, they marveled, and they took knowledge of them that had been with Yahweh Shai. So kind of, man, that boldness, you tell them what they think they'll never hear from a man. Is that they ignorant and unlearned, man. They the wicked Sadducees and Pharisees. You don't know Yahweh by Shema Shai. He can do miracles. Like Nate, if Nate or most of his companions or whatever congregation, they saw an actual miracle in front of their eyes, man, they'll probably faint because they don't actually believe in the Lord. Because if they believe in the Lord and fear the Lord, they would not be doing what they said they'd be doing, riding on horses, saying my bishop, like he's the king, or like he's a king already, like he's their king, you know. So they wouldn't be doing none of that if they actually feared and believed in the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. You know, they getting tables and everything. Like they probably be eating pork. You know, they'll pray over us. You know, so um, so comment that boldness. You know, that's beautiful. You know, because they were filled with the Holy Spirit because they saw Yahweh Shai be resurrected. Man, that's like seeing that's if I saw anything of the sort. Yahweh Shai walking on water in the wine. I'm gonna be like, oh, you gonna start seeing me. You know what the heck? Yo, this is the Lord right here. this hey man, any miracle, like seeing anything, man. Because simply being here, knowing the name of the Lord, being in the times of revelation, the times of being revealed that we're in the times of the end, World War III. So seeing anything pop off is just as it's good to me. But seeing something like that right in front of you, that's on top of the list. We want to sup with Yahweh Shai, we want to make sure he sees us. We want to make sure he sees him in us, his image. So it says, and beholding the man which was healed standing with them, they cannot say nothing against it. They can't say nothing against somebody that was healed right in front of them, as well as someone that was resurrected right in front of them. But when they command, was someone that's resurrected standing in front of them, you know. But when they had commanded them to go aside out of the council, they conferred among themselves, saying, "What shall we do to these men? For that indeed a notable miracle hath been done by them, is manifest to all them that dwell in Jerusalem, and we cannot deny it. But then it spread no further among the people. Let us straightly threaten them, that they may speak henceforth to no man in this name." And they called them and commanded them not to speak at all, nor teach in the name of Yahweh Shai. But Peter and John answered and said unto them, whether it be right in the sight of Yahweh to hearken unto you more than unto Yahweh, judge ye. For we cannot but speak the things which we have seen and heard. So when they had further threatened them, they let them go, finding nothing how they might punish them because of the people, for all men glorify Yahweh for that which was done. So come, man. They couldn't do nothing against that, man. That's the power of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. Ultimately, them same man, everyone that saw the miracles, most people that saw the miracle that are in heavens and they're ready to be the elect, or they down here, man. They down here down here in Babylon, America, spiritual Babylon, Rome reincarnated. They here. That's where we're here to wake up the 144,000 elect men across the whole globe, man. Some in heaven. Yeah, and that's what we're here for, man. That's what Peter and John was there to spread the word of Yahweh Shema Shai, and now them same men are back here today doing the same thing in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. So you gotta have that boldness that they saw someone healed and they saw someone resurrected. They had the Holy Spirit and they stood against these wicked Sadducees and Pharisees, and even then the wicked Sadducees and Pharisees knew that they were ignorant, knew they didn't have no actual knowledge. And then they try to threaten them, and even the threatenings didn't work. That's crazy, man. That's the boldness that Peter and John had through the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai that allowed them, to get out of that situation. And ultimately, they ended them. This 2,000 years ago. So them same people be back here. Something like I said, something in heaven. So come on, man. Let me see. Verse 1 says, the wicked flee when no man pursueth, are bold as a lion. Ultimately, the wicked, they don't take too much, man. A little lightning, they scatter, man, because that's what they is, man. They roaches. They're creatures of the dark. They don't have nothing to do with righteousness. They don't have nothing to do with anything, But of course, a righteous man, someone that believes in Yahweh Shema Shai, they're not gonna be afraid of nothing, man. The wicked Sadducees and Pharisees, people that say they Hamashiach, they say that, the people that say this and that. Bare line don't matter, man, because through the power of Yahweh Shema Shai, you're either gonna be cautious enough to meet the situation, or strong enough to fight through the situation, or ultimately have the power of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, man. These wicked men don't have that type of power, man. Their power is either in their might or their riches, and so on and so forth. Their power is not in the spirit. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. I'm sorry, verse 1. It says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all they had looked for." Ultimately, these 2/3 and these wicked, these heathen, they seeing the Lord come back, seeing a man actually stand on what he believed to the end, to the very end, and that very end is not just a crazy wicked coat, but it's actually a covenant as being with us, seeing a man become an elect man, seeing he is strong as David, man, or the least of them would be as David, seeing that they strong, they rise up as like a calf in a stall, man. No one would ever imagine that. These wicked could never imagine that being real. They don't want it to be real. Some do. Some do. They understand that, but some people are off themselves, man, because they don't have that type of, they can't handle that type of responsibility. Some people are gonna hide from it any way possible, not totally rebuking it, but just hide it from it in any way possible. Some are gonna totally rebuke it, and they gonna be totally amazed that, oh, they was not lying. I would have never thought, but they still can't turn it back. They still gonna be destroyed because they gonna turn back try to turn back the last second, calling every other name. Still might be wrong, you know, even though it's only one name you can call on. So it says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. And that they repenting, groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, "This was he whom we had sometimes in derision and proverb reproach. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor." How is it numbered among the children of Yahweh and his lot among the saints? You know, um, we fools accounted. None of that. Yeah, man, they don't just like then with Peter and John. They gonna see they were ignorant and foolish. They understand that, and they gonna people think worshiping the Lord is crazy, and they gonna see that they were crazy all along, man. It's all good though. That's what the Lord, forgive them, they do not know. But the Lord ain't gonna forgive 2/3. He gonna forgive someone that learns like they're in the truth or something like that. But that might have scoffed or whatever. But nonetheless, they gonna be destroyed for that. You know. And that boldness, once again, man, this is Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. That boldness is what uh that boldness and the Holy Spirit ultimately of Yahweh Shema Shai. So what allowed them to say that in the wicked Sadducees, Pharisees couldn't do nothing. And they accounted of themselves that they were fools and ignorant, and they couldn't do nothing because the people believed until on Yahweh Shema Shai. Everything that was said was known to other people, and they couldn't do nothing about it, man. So it says, Matthew chapter 5 and 16, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." So come, man. You gotta stand bold and shine that light, among these wicked men, the fall of all Satan, whoever, man, in the kings of wickedness. But you gotta let the light shine so all that darkness scatters, man. Because when we turn the light on, darkness flees, man. When light on, wicked men flee. Ultimately, the men of the Lord being that light. You know, the ones on the highways and byways. You know, of course, the women, the men, women, and children that simply believe you have a light too. You know, but the ones that go on highways and byways, they making sure anyone that comes across them sees them. Either they scoffers or rebukers, or they want to listen, or they can't even come near you. You know. Ultimately, they can't never. You know, no matter what it is, because you have a body made from Yahweh, and it can be, it can be fixed. You know, your spirit ultimately is being something that the Lord has a full power of, as well as a body that's in the flesh. He can make a new one. I just want to go back down to 40 of Acts chapter 4. I'm sorry, verse 30 of Acts chapter 4. Um, dang, what was verse 40? Well, I think it was verse 29. It says, for verse 28, for to do whatsoever thy hand, thy counsel determined before to be done, and now, Lord, behold their threatenings, and grant unto thy servants that with all boldness they may speak thy word, by stretching forth thine hand to heal, and the signs and wonders may be done by the name of thy holy child, Yahweh Shai. You know? But ultimately going into boldness is, and now, Lord, but behold their threatenings, grant to thy servants that with all boldness they may speak thy word. You know? Ultimately, just going with that boldness again. The serpent's gonna be bold as a lion, man. They're not gonna flee. These wicked men gonna flee. You know, they saw that Peter and John was not lying by anything they said. They couldn't do nothing against that, man. Um, and Howard Shah coming back now that well, he already he coming with healing his wing, but he gonna heal most of our people with fire, man. You know, and the 1/3 in the leg, they gonna suck with him, of course, but he has work to do. He has work to do, man. Just like we got work to do, man. This last one I'm gonna get is Luke, I think chapter 17. It's like chapter 10, verse 17, verse 19. It's Luke chapter 10, verse 19. Behold, I give you unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the powers of the enemy, and nothing shall be by any means hurt you. Notwithstanding, in this rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. Ultimately, our name, if you believe in the Lord and you love the Lord, you got to pray for your name to be written in the book of life. You know, we have the power to, go against these wicked Sadducees and Pharisees and Esau, get wicked, and you have you want to be part of Hopeful Elect. You always part of that number. You want to be part of, you want to get spiritual power to be part of the elect, be in that number. So the power, the power that we have now to go against Esau, man, and break down high towers, that's uh that is much a blessing. We got to keep that in mind that it's within us. The kingdom of heaven is within us. You know, um, yeah, boldness and the light is within us, and we got to use it correctly. You got to keep praying, and studying and get into the meat and become stronger. You know, but yeah, that was a little lesson going on boldness. So the boldness of Peter and John, man, that's awesome within us, because most of the people that saw that they back here now, man. So same with that heard the name, heard about the kingdom of heaven, man. They back here in the flesh. So God, man, that's part of the 100 for 1,000. Anyone that heard that back here on this earth or in the heavens, and you were most likely in that area, or God. But yeah, with that, I want to say shalom.